named Sports, Culture, Politics, What Else You Got show with me, Coach Orlando of Align Performance, and my co-host, the ever-patient Professor Michelle. What's going on?
Hey, what's up with you? How's your week been going?
Nothing much. So you know what? It's been going all right. It's been going all right. I short version. I'll tell this quickly and then tell you what it has to do with us talking about sports. Somehow I went out with some friends Saturday night and somehow lost my wallet. And as I've been stressing to everybody, I was not drunk because I just feel like it sounds like a drunk story. It sounds like you went out and you came back without your wallet. You don't know how to act. I just lost my wallet. So because I came home Saturday night and I wanted to be like up and at 'em on Sunday morning, I did get up at 5 a.m. because I was laying out, and the hockey final was on. And I had a buddy who is a huge hockey fan. So one guy on our text chain started texting with him, and then I was up, so I started texting. So we basically like in-house live tweeted the entire final.
Okay.
So yeah, now we talked about it a little bit, but this Winter Olympics didn't see much of Professor Michelle, correct?
It did not. It did not. Just generally speaking, the Winter Olympics haven't, been my jam. I kind of keep.
I hear you.
I try to keep, aware, but as far as like must view TV for me, it wasn't, and I had just a lot going on personally. So to the extent I might have watched more 4 years ago, I didn't see. It occurred to me to try to watch some of the closing ceremony yesterday.
Got it.
And I caught maybe 5 minutes of it.
Got a little of that. Okay.
That was it.
Well, it's funny because, first of all, in terms of sport, when I was a kid, I was just such a sports fanatic that any athletic event, so
just put it in a vein, whichever one. Just go,
right? So I kind of have some familiarity, and I'm old enough that I was 7. I remember the Miracle on Ice. So I do kind of have a place in my heart for hockey, and then as women's hockey has come up, I do have a little bit of a. If I have a chance to check that out, I will maybe a little more than others. But I was telling you, at my house, watching the Olympics consists of me hearing the following commentary from my wife. That's crazy. That person, she is going 70 miles an hour. That's crazy. That's wild. That's insane. That's wild. Yeah. So that's pretty much, I don't think you're alone. Culturally, I don't think you're alone when you say, these are my sports. What you mean you go? I'm just supposed to go flying down the mountain. What you mean? Although I will say I'm happy when I see.
I'm entertained like by clips. There was a clip of a skier coming down the mountain, and somehow his body split a pole, and he had the reaction of someone
whose body just split a pole. Dang.
So that's my Olympic moment that I can. That's the one I saw.
Well, I got to witness a little bit more favorable one. As the United States scored goals, so I was teasing my buddy who's a huge hockey fan. I was like, I watched in 1980. And I watched today. So I think we understand. You're welcome, America. Yeah, you're welcome anytime. But no, it was an amazing. I don't watch a ton of hockey. I've learned a little bit. But it was so fast. And they were so good. And I was like trying to decide, like, is this just because I don't know? And I asked my friend, he was like, no, you probably just witnessed the best hockey game ever.
Oh, wow.
I was like, well, I'm glad I was here.
Yeah.
But they just were so good. Both sides were so good. It was a classic, like, it's a shame somebody had to lose kind of a situation. And then I got to tell you, in addition, now today I see that Cash Patella was in the locker room. So this even deepens where I'm about to take us. I'm more and more aware over the years of how the whole double consciousness idea, the whole, what to the Negro is the 4th of July kind of vibe. I'm more aware of how much that's part of my sports experience, right? Because I'm watching this and I'm wondering to myself, like, bunch of white dudes, ice hockey. Like, if they're a bunch of MAGA dudes, I'd be rooting for them. So I'd go ahead and root for Canada. Then, you know, like, and it's, I just want to sit down and watch the Olympics. I feel like more and more everything feels like it has. I'm not saying politics weren't always a part of sports. That's not my suggestion. But I feel like there's a specific like experience I'm having where these things I enjoy, and because they are Americana and America's being hostile to me at the moment, I kind of feel like I can't fully just go ahead and enjoy this. Is that making sense the way I'm describing it?
It completely makes sense. It completely makes sense. And I kind of have that, even with regard to the Summer Olympics, I have that. And perhaps it's more, you know, perhaps it's more profoundly experienced, that double consciousness is experienced for me because of the fraught history of of the intersection of race relations and the Olympics.
Right. For sure.
And so,
no question.
But yeah, I do have that tension to the extent that that I have caught the Winter Olympics, because there's even less representation there too. So it's like,
well, right, sure. That's what I was saying. It's like, these are not.
It's almost like, is this for me, right? But I'm a part of this country. I'm a citizen of this country, so it should be for me. But is it really?
Right. Which is why I get excited when I see, you know, a Black person out there, whether it's, you know, 2-person bobsled or wherever they find themselves. I'm like, you know what? I know you went through a whole lot to get there.
Listen,
I know you went through a whole lot.
I know, you know, the cool runnings is what made the Cool Running story so interesting, right?
Yeah, absolutely, right? Because you go like, you really had to mean it. Like, you did not stumble. You did not grow up in Jamaica and stumble into bobsledding. You had to mean that. But yeah, I found myself, when they won, I did find myself having that good old feeling that reminded me of 1980 of like, yeah, USA. But yeah, it was just striking me how often that's true now. I mean, obviously, we're recently talking about the Super Bowl performance, on backlash against the Super Bowl performance, and the Kid Rock performance during the Super Bowl performance, which somehow has gotten worse since the Super Bowl. Like, it was terrible.
It was terrible.
And it was recorded terrible. It was recorded terrible, edited terrible, with a paid audience. I was like, bro, what are we doing?
It was just bootleg. And not even the occupant at 1600 Pennsylvania watched. So
after all of that, like, I would be like, come on. So anyway, but again, like, I find myself, you sit down to watch football, you know, this Super Bowl, let's talk about that first. You sit down and watch the Super Bowl and all this backlash about Bad Bunny. And, you know, I even saw, and I thought, boy, this is rich. I even saw Brett Favre being asked about it. And he said something about, well, you know, I just think we should get somebody who loves America. And I was like, that's a real interesting thing to say, Brett. That's a super interesting thing to say, because what makes you think Bad Bunny doesn't love America? What last year, because I'm sure he said the same thing last year, what made you think Kendrick doesn't love America? There's an interesting, for me, it's an interesting way to frame, we just want some white people up there. Because I don't understand what else that possibly means.
Right. And, you know, what's interesting about Brett Favre saying that, I mean, there's several things that are interesting to point out. But like, to my knowledge, what's his full name? Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio.
Ocasio, right.
Ocasio has never been, to my knowledge, charged with a crime or attempting to take among the rich, taking from the poor.
Now that, I guess that's how you love.
So for Brett Favre to talk about what's more in alignment with being an American, I'm just curious about, given the values that he's reflected, is that really American?
That's why I say, what am I to take? Like, I wish sometimes I could actually ask the question, not really, because I don't think I'll get an honest answer. But if I could get an honest answer, I would love to say Brett et al. Because he surely wasn't alone.
He's not alone.
What am
He's
I
not
to
alone.
take? What am I to take from what you just said?
Yeah.
What would you like me to take from it? Because I know what I'm about to take from it.
Right.
But I don't see what else to take from it. Like, what do you mean? Yeah. So anyway, I'm cutting you off, Brett.
No, you didn't cut me off at all. I just, it's just very interesting to hear a man whose moral compass is in question.
At best. Let us not forget the texting.
I'm being generous. I'm being generous.
Okay.
And I'm limiting it to the issues regarding funds misappropriated from the state of Mississippi. I'm not even going into the personal.
Okay. I'm just saying.
So it's just interesting. It's just he's an interesting messenger. He's an interesting messenger.
And I think also to qualify, even I would add to it, to qualify as a messenger, all you need is, the right hue. Because I'm like, what made them ask of everybody? When's the last time Brett Favre threw a football to anybody? Why is Brett Favre? And then what's Brett Favre know about entertainment? Because he was in there something about Mary. Like what? I
forgot about that. I forgot about that.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But it seemed to be his sole qualification is, I'm a white man. Let y'all know I'm unhappy.
And it's really interesting to me, given that Bad Bunny, like we can get into like the extent to which his performance was a protest performance, right?
And I'd like to talk about that.
And we can talk about that. But even to the extent it was a protest performance, even within it, he did not drag folks as hard as he could have.
Oh,
right.
By a long shot. I totally agree with you on that.
It was protest, yes, but it could have been. I mean, Kendrick was more radical and in your face than Bad Bunny, right? I mean, Bad Bunny goes out of his way to, like, that's one of those dead in the, like, look in the camera moments and say, I'm here because I never stopped believing in myself. And you should, like, if you just keep believing in yourself and you'll get to where you're, but there's not a message more American than that. Like,
he made himself, I thought this was brilliant about it. I thought he made himself really hard to protest. And I think it really allowed the people who were protesting to get caught out there, because only love is more powerful than hate. Together we are America. Believe in yourself. Let me hand a Grammy to the little child version of me. Like, I was like, this is a pretty all in. There was a wedding. This is a pretty wholesome performance.
Pretty wholesome performance. And I love Josh Johnson's take on all of this. He says, that there are folks so racist that despite the fact that Lady Gaga sang in English,
I know,
they heard her, they thought she was singing in Spanish. Like, they cannot concede. Like, they're so racist, they didn't even recognize English.
They couldn't even hear the English.
They couldn't even hear the English. They heard it all in Spanish, right?
I know.
And
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Another concession. Like, folks complained that it was going to be a Super Bowl that was all in Spanish, and actually it wasn't.
It wasn't. But see, again, and it's not like we live in an age of people talking around things. So people are really showing out these days. But I do think in this area, there's a almost wandering quality to it for me. And I think this is at the core of it. You tell me what you think about this. I argue there is no such thing as white American culture. And I've just come to this argument recently. By that, I don't mean Italian American culture I don't mean that. I mean white American culture. It's a system. The way I'm looking at it, it's like, it's because you wasn't in the club, now you in the club. So it ain't where you're from, it ain't who your mama was, there's something else going on here. And I think because of that, there can't be the argument, well, we should have more of X white thing that's so important to us, because there's no such thing. right?
Right,
So the
right.
argument always has to be, I'm mad at what other folks are doing. I'm mad at what other folks are enjoying. I'm going to denigrate what they're on. Because at the end of the day, if you were like, okay, so what is this like white culture you're so invested in showing? You about to say country music, and I'm about to hurt your feelings.
That's right. I hate to tell
You know what
you.
I'm saying? I hate to be the one to tell you. So I
Yeah.
don't know. So I don't know. Do you wish to have a recorded response to that?
Well,
But yeah, what do you think?
yeah, I mean, I understand. I understand that point of view, and I think some validation of it has played out in some of the fact that there's a critique of the art that came out of Bad Bunny's performance. There was a hue
Hmm.
and cry. There was a hue and cry to have CBS, reported to the FCC because of
Oh,
the
yeah.
provocative dancing, right?
I
And
mean,
the
come on.
dancing comes from a very like this African and Afro Caribbean and Latino
Yeah,
culture. It's not so what one would deem inappropriate is really a part of somebody's culture. And so
that's
the
right.
inability to identify like signals and signifiers of culture when you see it does
Mm-hmm.
beg the question of how in touch are you with whatever cultural marks are associated with who you are.
Yes. And I think, yes, and I would say that there's no real point. Again, there would be no real point of reference, right? Like I might see, like, look, I'm Afro Latino, so I don't want to like, everything that was going on, I was like, I understand. Like, I was like, ooh, this for me. This is for me,
Well,
right?
yes.
You know, um, but when I saw that dancing, it wasn't because I'm not gonna try to be. I don't want to be disingenuous and act like I didn't see a bunch of really great looking women shaking all over the place. Like I mean, we all did.
Sure.
So I don't want to be disingenuous, but
Right.
at the same time, I didn't think like, oh, they taking us to the strip club. Like there's something in the difference there that gets lost when they just go, oh, they were twerking. And like, wait, well, I mean, they were dancing.
They were dancing. They were dancing.
That's all.
Because I was thinking, well, they probably don't need to go see Buena Vista Social Club. Like if they if they were,
And also that.
because
Also that. Yeah, like you don't have to make it hip hop.
no.
If that really bothered you, seriously, then yeah, we don't have to have hip hop. We could bring you Latin music from 50 years ago and you still gonna
And you're
feel
gonna have
away.
a problem with it. You're gonna have a
You
problem
still
with
gonna
it.
feel away.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I anyway, I want to talk about more of the Super Bowl half times. We had talked about doing that, and like I told you, I especially think about some of these social issues with the halftime this year and last year. I didn't have the quick trigger, and I kind of don't wish to have the quick trigger. Here's my think piece in 18 hours.
right,
Here's my
right,
response to the think
right.
pieces in 30 hours, and then we all move on, right? So yeah, I found myself wanting to go back into it some, talk about some of the performances that we have liked, but also talk about how did we get to, and I don't know that we can fully answer it today, but how did we get to the Super Bowl halftime performance being such an absolute socio-political lightning rod?
Like a bellwether. Yeah. Yeah.
It's really like I feel like it's people were upset about this, upset about that. I remember the Janet. We'll talk about that. The Janet fiasco, the wardrobe malfunction, the fame. But I feel like at least then people were reacting to a thing. Now I think I think I have thoughts that we can get to about how they reacted, but I thought at least they were reacting to a thing. But I feel like now preemptively, if it ain't a white person, it's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do we get there?
It's kind of fascinating to track and look back, like how the Super Bowl performance, halftime performance, came to be in the first place, and then this evolution that
Mm-hmm.
you reference. And when did that switch go from like looking forward to knowing uh, and like watching the performance just because it's the Super Bowl
Right.
halftime, and folks are going to be
Right.
talking about it regardless of who's performing. I mean,
Right.
I'm not, I enjoy Lady Gaga. I wouldn't say like I'm a huge fan, but doggone it, when she jumped off the side of the stadium, I was intrigued, right?
Right.
So just for,
Right. You go,
okay,
okay, all
well,
right.
that's how we're starting, right? So where did that switch? And I was trying to like
Mm-hmm.
get down to the year. I know we're going to start with kind of the talk more about how it started, but I
Yeah,
also
yeah,
want to
yeah.
get into like
Yeah.
when did the switch go off? Because I would submit that even as recently as Shakira and J Lo, you didn't have
That's what I was like.
that's been in the last 5 or 6
Yeah, it's recent.
years.
Yes. And there was none of this. Like, I wouldn't say none, but it was not like
It was
this.
not like this.
Yeah.
It wasn't this for them. It was not this for them. So
Mm-hmm.
there's got to be specific factors that we, need to kind of examine to understand why when things switched, you know.
Right. I mean, look, the obvious, well, I shouldn't say this, but to me, the obvious answer is as the MAGA of it all has hardened, this has become, it became, for a while, everybody, it was a war on Christmas every year. I hear less about the war on Christmas, but now I hear a lot about the Super Bowl. Like, there's just sort of like, I wonder if that's part of it. But then I think 2020, Shakira and Jennifer Lopez was 2020.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't like
Yeah.
none of this had started then.
Yeah, no, I think it is the political climate, to your point, but it's also the fact that, an outsider in the way of Jay-Z and Rock Nation has been responsible for it too. And so there's been kind of
Okay.
a theme that has developed since it's been under
Mm-hmm.
Rock Nation's care. So between the
Mm-hmm.
climate shift and kind of having the same person be old grand
Yeah.
poobah over it, and kind of
Mm-hmm.
establishing like this is where I'm going with this. Now
Right.
we go back to 2019. You'll recall like the reaction to the blowback of the first administration and all the Kaepernick blowback,
Right. Right.
and nobody really
Yep.
wanted to perform. They couldn't get Rihanna that year. Like folks were standing with
Right.
Cap.
Because everybody was, nah, we're not
So
doing that. Right.
that's how they kind of cobbled together. It was like I think Maroon 5 was maybe the lead.
Yeah. Maroon 5, Travis Scott, and Big Boy that year. It's 2019.
Random,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like,
random.
I do remember thinking, like, I don't know who decided them three people or those three acts go together,
Should
but
be on the
okay.
stage together, but like they were
Yeah.
struggling to find somebody to agree to do
Mm-hmm.
it because of
Mm-hmm.
like the protest around how the NFL had treated Cap, right?
Yeah.
So interesting,
Maybe,
interesting.
maybe we do have to consider that in the move. And I would, I want to stay on the half times because I think there's some really
Yeah,
interesting stuff there. But I do want to. I don't think you can have this conversation that I'm talking about the double consciousness piece and the sort of like, I'm a football fan, I'm a black man, I'm American, like all these things are going on at the same time. I don't think you can have that conversation without talking about Kaepernick.
for
And
sure.
part of what upsets me when I think about Kaepernick, one less so than the other, but I'll say two things. One, though, the main one is I bet Renee Goodfamily understands what Kaepernick was talking about now, though.
Yeah.
And what upsets me is there was such venom. And what did the guy do? He knelt to bring attention to an issue. Like, even if you disagree with the issue, the violent pushback against somebody saying, hey, I don't think it's cool for the government to be murdering American citizens. For me, that was definitely a divide. And I was away for a while. I didn't go.
Yeah,
From
right.
the time, folks decided. I went back after, and this is when it upsets me less, but sometimes I go, why'd you do it like that? Because Kaepernick settled. And I kind of felt, I've described it to some friends, it felt like in Forrest Gump when he was running. And they had all them people. And one day he was just like, just stopped running, went home. And they all stayed there like, well, hold on a second now. What are we supposed to do?
We're in the middle of the desert. Like what?
I felt like we was all running with Colin and he just stopped running. I was like, well, what you want me to do now? So even my return was odd because it wasn't like the league that I could point to anything the league had done to say, and that's why amends have been made. But also I found myself thinking, well, at this point, if I'm gonna boycott the NFL, wouldn't I also have to boycott like MLB, NBA, Starbucks? You know what I mean? Like at a certain point. So it felt very like, I love football. I guess I'll just go back to it. But I do think that was a huge moment of me going like, wow, like I can't even just enjoy some football.
Enjoy the football. Yeah. And interestingly enough, and I know you and I are aligned on this issue, like 19 being the year that Jay-Z decides,
right,
we're done dealing with Colin. Like we got to move on.
I know.
And so that's how we get these we get Dre in the LA Super Bowl. So it's because of Kaepernick that we had Benito, that we had Usher, that we had Kendrick, that we had Rihanna.
100%, and I don't think that I've thought it that way. Like I'm aware of the sequence, but I didn't think like, oh wow, because Kaepernick knelt, we get Kendrick, right? Like I just hadn't. But you're right. You're 100% right. I guess I would add to that. Because looking back, and we can keep bouncing around, but looking back, I want to say 91, but I'm going to scroll down this list to make sure I'm not lying. Nope, it was 92. 1992.
92. Mm-hmm.
The Super Bowl halftime, I'm going to read you what the Super Bowl halftime show was. Winter Magic.
Yep.
Including a salute to the winter season and the Winter Olympics featuring Gloria Estefan, Brian Boitano, and Dorothy Hamill. That was the lineup.
That was, In
1992, by the way. In 1992. So no disrespect to Gloria Estefan, but that was how the Super Bowl halftime was getting down. And in 1992, In Living Color it was funny because I was actually at physical therapy because, I'm old. And the person who's helping me is not old. And the person who they were talking to was not old either. And so they were like, when did, because I was looking at the list and I saw that, and they used to have like marching bands. And they were like kind of wondering, like, and I was like, I could tell you I was there.
I know. Right. I was there.
I was like, In Living Color cleaned the NFL's clock, and the next year they went out and got Michael Jackson. It's as simple as that. It's funny simple. That you say that about Colin Kaepernick, because in this and I shouldn't say every way, but in this and so many ways, we're always the one pushing the culture forward.
Well, right. And, so we have Keenan Ivory Wayans to think about that. But, what I love about what In Living Color did is they saw an opportunity and they exploited it, right? Mm-hmm. But they were also thoughtful enough. They understood their lane. Like they had the clock to let you know.
Yes, go back to the game. I forgot about that. You are 100%. Yes.
They weren't trying to take away from the Super Bowl. They were just filling in a gap. Like they
were, and it was a gap because I promise you, maybe if I was eating something and I didn't want to get up with my plate, but otherwise, the chances that I was really invested in watching Brian Boitano and Dorothy Hamill, all due respect, y'all got y'all's medals and y'all are great at what you do. There's no way in 1992, I was 20 years old, or 19 at the time, that I cared. So like, they really were filling a gap because all of a sudden I cared. Like I wanted to be in front of the TV at that time. So we both know about that switch, and I'm really glad you reminded me of the clock, which makes it very different than the Kid Rock stuff we've now seen.
Yes.
Which, Lord. But tell me,
is what they call it.
I mean, to say the least. I mean, it's your song. You've been doing it for decades. Can you nail the lip sync? I'm like, are we doing? I mean,
Are we gonna talk about what Ba with a Ba? That
Yes,
Kid Rock
please do.
is a vulture culture. That,
Oh,
you know, those roots. I mean,
go
he
on.
grew up trying to break dance and rap,
I
right?
know, I
You
know,
know, like his
I
first
know.
hit, Ba with the Ba, was supposed to be like a
This
rap
rock,
rock, right? But it was
yeah.
rap.
Mm-hmm.
He was a stiff legged Pinocchio looking dancer, like I won't call it break dancing. That was not what he was doing. But he's a
He was dancing.
yeah.
Yeah, he was. He was
He
technically
was
it was
moving his
music on.
body in
He
a
was
way to
moving.
suggest that he was attempting
Yeah.
to dance, right? So I'm not gonna do this. Listen, we're not gonna do that
All
today.
right, I was stop. I was
No,
stop.
no,
I
no,
was
no.
stop.
I'm just saying, like, if we really wanted to dig down into that rabbit hole, but there's not
Yeah,
time. But yes,
yeah.
um, yeah, just laughable.
It was laughable, but I hadn't thought about this, the energy difference.
Mhm.
And I think it's the energy difference we often encounter in these types of conversations, right? Um, recently, I'm going to take us outside of sports for a second, but
Okay.
recently I was talking to somebody about, you know, obviously as they go after the DEI of it all or whatever, now you're not supposed to have no black groups and you can't have a black graduation, right? That's the one thing I heard about that I was like, and I was like, isn't it fascinating? Here's what nobody's thinking about at black graduation, what white people are doing.
Not a care.
It's odd to me. And that's the vibe I got from that halftime. I was like, y'all don't want to watch Kid Rock no more than I do. But y'all, just out of spite,
Out of spite.
just out of spite, you gonna act like you really wanted to watch Kid Rock do a song he been doing for 20 years, and you didn't even care 19 years ago.
Right. Right. But the
I
fact that
mean,
the fact that he's the best shot, like he's and the
I'm
go-to.
saying,
Yeah.
we're all these, you know, lovers of America. Brett was talking about. You know, where are they? But you know, so I thought the energy was just, and it was immediate, and it was strident. And first it was he's un-American, Puerto Rico's in America. It should be in English. Like it just was like we gonna hate him. And I even saw Laura Ingraham, a clip from her. Actually, I know where I saw it. And I'm gonna give it credit. Reese Waters on YouTube. Excuse me, check out his channel. He's amazing. But anyway, he played this clip, and he was and she said something. So essentially, she said, "So here's this guy, Bad Bunny, who's made all this money off of Americans, and doesn't want to do shows in America because he's scared of ICE. What a phony." And then she says, "And who no one had heard of until he got the Super Bowl show." Or very few of us had heard of. So I'm like, okay, first of all, let's start from the very beginning, a very good place to start. What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Because how did he make all this money off of Americans, in quotes, because he's American, but how did he make all this money off of Americans if nobody know who he is? This is a matter of fundamental logic out the gate. What are you talking about? And then I thought the ICE thing was so, again, disingenuous. Like it's true. That reminded me, and I know I'm ranting, but that reminded me of white people really being in their feelings about, I'll say F the police, as I try to not jam up the YouTube channel.
Yes.
And it was the same kind of deal where I was like, oh, so you gonna act like you don't know why. You just demanding I not say it.
Yeah.
You're just demanding I not acknowledge it because we both know why I would say that. You weren't surprised that I said it. You were shocked I was allowed to say it, that I had the audacity to say it. But you're not surprised I feel that way. You pay them to make me feel that way.
Yeah.
I mean, like one of my cousins used to always say, "Stop me when I tell a lie." But you know, But yeah. So anyway, so back to, I don't know if you have something on that or if you want to just go back to
No, I'm
what
gonna
I
let
have
you
time.
cook. You're good. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, no, I just, this has been, I guess this has been building for me. And that's what I mean by the overthink piece. Is I think there's real value in us looking at this.
Mm-hmm.
And what is that? Like, every Black person I knew, their reaction was either, I don't need to know Spanish, I'm gonna learn as much Spanish as I can by the Super Bowl, or it's my own fault for not working on my Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
I literally did not hear one non-MAGA Black person say, he talking to Spanish. Like, so what? It's a vibe, man. It's a vibe. Just enjoy the music. There's old people. There's young people. There's a kid sleeping on a football. There's beautiful music playing. Everybody's dancing and happy. Folks got married.
Literally, that was an actual.
It
like
literally, it was a real wedding.
I thought it was like a, but no, it was.
I did too.
It was a real thing.
I did too.
And miss
Yeah.
me with the. It needs to be in English for me to understand, because Andrea Bocelli is currently touring this country. And I guarantee you,
100%. Nobody's
99% of the folks who love his
100%.
music cannot tell you what that
100%.
man is saying. And he has
Not
an amazing
for a
voice.
Yeah.
And he has an amazing voice.
And I don't need to know what he's
I
saying
don't
to
need to
sit
know what he's
there
saying
and
to
get a
think
tear
it's
in my
dope.
eye.
Exactly, or
he's
be moved
killing
by
this.
it. Yeah.
So it is odd. Again, that is odd to me. And I do think there's something culturally. This isn't even where I thought I was going, so I'm gonna drag you down this road.
No, we're good. We're good.
But there's something culturally that I think we have to look at around this negation piece, because it's a real hard way to deal with somebody. Like, put aside a lot of other issues. It's like, have you ever had a friend or a partner or whoever at the time who like never wanted to say what they wanted for dinner, but never wanted whatever you said?
Like, it just can't be that. It just can't be that. I don't know what I want, but it just can't be what you want.
Me and you ain't gonna be friends for long if you keep this up. And to me, that's what I get. Like, the fact that it's just all this push against, as opposed to, like, if you got something that's fire, put it on the table.
Yeah.
If you have something that's fire, put it on the table. Let me tell you what Jay-Z is. He is a capitalist. And if there was some white man that he thought, he would be like, hey, I thought about it, and this year we gonna switch it. He would do whatever. He ain't gonna.
Bocelli may be the Super Bowl halftime show next year. Who knows?
And if he is, will that be my jam? No, but will I be like, that was dope?
That was dope. I mean, that was beautiful. That was amazing. Like, yes. But there is a point to be made around why Bocelli would, as popular as he is internationally, would not likely be the selection. Like, you have to be real about viewership and mass appeal, like global mass appeal. We're past the point of the Super Bowl just being something that resonated with Americans. Like, this is a global affair.
Yes.
They will likely have. It's happening. They're gonna place a team in another country within the next decade.
Yeah. Right? I mean, I feel like we've been leaning that. I kept hearing Jacksonville was the most likely, but I mean, I don't know if that's true. But yeah, I think it's just a matter of time.
So they aren't having all these games in Germany, in Spain, in all the places they've been having games, London, Paris, wherever, to not be seriously considering having a team in Europe.
Yes, and because to everything you just said, and I would put in there that the reality of the popularity and quality, especially of the last two in Kendrick and Bad Bunny, I feel has really highlighted the dishonesty of the critique. Because last year nobody heard of Kendrick, and I was like, the man has won a Pulitzer. Like, even if
he has a Pulitzer.
And again, if I haven't heard of, my son is constantly telling me about people, and they ain't necessarily new. I'll be like, is that new? He's like, no, he came out in 2019. But for whatever reason, I brought something up, and he's like, you might want to check so and so out. I'm not pretending I'm up on everything. I'm 53 years old. I wouldn't think anybody would expect me to be up on everything, but I don't think that means that whatever I don't know about is trash.
Right.
I just don't know about it. And it could be trash, but
Right.
I'm not just gonna come out the gate. Oh, that's trash. Like it's there's something about the negation. Sorry, you were gonna say something.
No, no, no. The gatekeeping is really wild. And I was thinking this like the path that leads to Bad Bunny being in the lead performer or the performer at the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Like recall like half a lifetime ago for me and you.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
99 was the year of Ricky Martin and Living La Vida Loca.
No
Right,
way.
right. Yeah, that
That's
was
funny.
99. And we heard and in the culture we heard this
Mm-hmm.
reference to like the Latin
Mm-hmm.
explosion, like the music is
Mm-hmm.
it took another 27 years.
Oh wow.
So this is a slow train we've been on towards
That's
this.
really deep. That's
It's a slow
really
train. And it's
yeah.
symmetry in the fact that Ricky Martin
That was
performed.
unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
That was
amazing.
that I
But
really yeah. Go
but
ahead.
the Latin explosion,
Mm-hmm.
frankly, should have been here. Why,
I
why
mean,
didn't
yeah,
Ricky Martin
Shakira,
perform at the Super Bowl in 2000? I
and
mean,
and that's and now we're really gonna go far afield of sports
yeah,
for a
yeah.
second, but
Let's.
that's part of my whole thing. MAGA, the whole like Latinos for MAGA, and I know people have been giving them, with the "I Will Vote for Donald Trump" song.
Don't.
It's not. Come on now. Like I was like, y'all did that to yourself.
You
Nobody
did so.
told y'all to
That's a
try to.
self-inflicted wound.
You know what I'm
You know,
saying? Like nobody tried to tell y'all to put out a single. You
they
could have
put
just
out
voted.
a whole bop about their
You know what
boy,
I'm
a
saying?
whole bop.
And they was
It was
jamming.
catchy, as Jesse
It
Wood would
was
say.
catchy. I
As
think that's
Jesse
part
Wood
of
would
why
say,
everybody remembers it.
it was trash, but it was catchy.
Right. Exactly. Like you did it well. I hate what you said, but it was an undeniable bop.
Yeah.
And I just and I just find myself going like, why do you think they're your friends? Like let's not get into whether you think I'm your friend. That's a whole other conversation. But why do you think they are your friends? Like, what about their behavior suggests to you y'all are actually cool?
Right. Right.
Because I'm looking at things like what you just pointed out and going, I don't think y'all cool. I don't think y'all cool.
Right.
I'm just gonna put that on the table. I don't think y'all cool. And I think the last year of people putting up videos like, I did not vote for this is like, well, we tried to tell you y'all wasn't cool.
We tried to tell you. This is a person who the first day of their first term in 2017 implemented a Muslim ban. So we knew the vibes off rip. We knew the vibes off
rip. And I was at LAX. That I will say. This most recent go around with him, I'm like, I ain't going in the street. I can't deal with y'all this time. But last time I was out at LAX for that Muslim ban. Screaming, riot police coming out. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get my wig split tonight. Uh-oh. But it didn't go down. I really did though. When they came out, I was like, oh, well,
okay,
you said you was about it. Here we go. But luckily it did not get that far. But I was out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're right. Like he out the gate.
Out the gate, and maybe folks were comfortable in thinking like it couldn't happen to them, but
that's always a mistake. That like I feel like that's like sometimes I joke with you and others who know a bit about my background about like what I learned in Flatbush. There was some education that I got that I understand everybody doesn't get. But part of me is like, y'all got to come together and put this bully down immediately. If y'all keep waiting, he gonna take everybody money. He gonna take everybody lunch money.
Yeah.
The only way somebody gotta stand up and everybody gotta have their back and y'all gotta put this bully down. And I just don't. I've never understood the sort of mass not getting of that. Like I'm like, it doesn't even matter if you think you're cool with the bully. At some point, you gonna run your lunch money.
Yeah.
Period.
They turn on you every time. On you every time. So,
And that's, that's what, so
well, I
yeah, okay.
misspoke. It's not a
Hmm.
turning. They were never with you to begin with. Like it's
Well,
a perceived alignment that never actually
right,
existed. And
right. I mean, yeah. And that's also why, and actually I just almost took us into the a certain set of files that we don't want to get into all that. But I will dial it back and say it's also part of why I think we have ended up with um this charged space around the halftime, but like
sure.
more broadly, because I think things have been so extreme. Going back to the Muslim ban, like I don't say just this, like I think just this general movement that started when so and so came down the escalator has been such a force and such a dividing force that it's really not acceptable, in my opinion. I'll say it like that. It is not. It is no longer acceptable for anyone to say I'm not on a side.
Yeah.
To quote, the great Kendrick Lamar of last year's Super Bowl, said, "You pandering to choose a side. Let me pick it. Let me choose it for you." You know what I mean? Like if you need to think about it at this point, you ain't. I'll tell you what side you ain't on, and that's my
Right.
side.
Right.
And I think that's been part of the conversation. Is it's a way to say I stand on this side.
Right. And the exploitation of those opportunities to be clear about where you stand. Like there are people who don't watch a stitch of football in the course of the how many
I know.
weeks we got? 18 weeks, 17 games, 18
18,
weeks or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Don't watch a playoff game, but they're going to show up, and they might not even watch the actual Super Bowl, but they're going to
I
dial
know.
in. They're going to dial in for that show, partly because of this schism, right? Like, which side are you
Right.
on? Are you going to support it or are you going to denigrate it? And
Yeah. And
for
I think I think it's a, what do they call those? Like not a litmus test, although that's the same thing too. But
yeah,
anyway, I was trying to think of the right phrase. But my point being, I think that's what it's become. Because I just find it hard to believe that anybody has that strong a feeling about somebody they never heard before. Like I like how like
yeah,
why? Like
yeah.
if you told me, oh, they're gonna have, some like notoriously MAGA whatever singer, I might be like, oh, come on now. But if it's just some random, whoever, and I ain't never heard of them, oh, it's the Chain Box Boys, I'll be like, okay, I
And,
guess we gonna check
and
them out.
listen, if you don't want to watch it, you cannot watch it and not even announce that you're not watching it. Like
How
you can
about
go
that?
because
And as you, sorry, go ahead,
no, I was gonna
you
say
got it.
in your scenario, if somebody who had morally repugnant standards to me was selected, I would opt out and y'all wouldn't even know about it. I just
There's really not a lot to say.
it
Like
doesn't
I'm
have
not
to be a
watching
big
it.
production. I'm just not watching it. Whoever wants to, obviously, they're right. Their prerogative, but it's equally my prerogative not to do so and not to necessarily like sound the horn about it. Like I just won't watch it. I don't know why somebody. Well, I know why. Like somebody wants to
Right,
impose how they feel about it on everybody and
right.
have it be everybody's problem instead of just their problem that they can just kind of shut up about.
Truly, and it's funny how much belief there was in democracy until our ability to establish the real numbers in a widespread way became the case. So
Hmm.
I was always told certain things were absolutely American culture and the stuff I loved wasn't. But come to find out, now it's grown over the years to be sure, but come to find out, a lot of things I was saying was hot, it was fresh in 85 are still here, and a lot of
Hmm.
things other people talk about are not. And I think there's a real, I've been working on this concept. You can tell me what you think about this too. I think it's the dominant group's equivalent to imposter syndrome, and I call it privilege panic. And at its core, I think if I, right, like it always makes me laugh. Like Trump's like, oh yeah, I won the golf tournament at my club. I was like, oh, really? Really, you did? Okay. You know, like if I hold a basketball tournament in my backyard and can't nobody get back here, I can be pretty sure I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident I can win that competition. And I think what happens using that example is the minute you say, hey, can I play? Now I risk losing. Worse, you say, can I play? And I reluctantly end up having to let you play for whatever reason, people are watching, whatever, and then you beat me. I'm going to have a no Clemens rule. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think that's what happens. I was sharing that with somebody, you know, you even have my man from the Chiefs. What's my man's? Oh, Butker, who, you know.
The kicker. Yes,
with,
the kicker.
Yeah, with his, you know, women need not, you know, develop their brains. We don't need that. And I thought, if women were inferior intellectually, we've been at this. I mean, when was Title IX? What was the first Yale class with women? I want to say it was like 69 or something.
It was 69. It was 69, and I think Title IX is either 71 or 72. I think it's 72.
Okay.
I think it's 72. It's 72.
So rough ballpark. This is when it was like, hey, enough, right? We going. Men have had 50 years to prove the hypothesis that men are smarter than women. We've had 50 years, at least in the academy. Let's just leave it right there for a second. You didn't do it, bro. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to let these women keep getting their damn degrees. And we're not going to do this. Like, that's my reaction to it, is the only reason you now are like, no, you getting back in the kitchen is because you can't outperform them. You can't beat them. And that destroys like your entire identity, like the way you get up in the morning to the way you go down at night, and they just can't have it. To look at Ketanji Brown, to look at, you know, some of the people who they will throw DEI at, to look at Kamala, I was like, she was the DA of California. I mean, she's qualified for a lot of things. She's qualified for a lot of things after that.
Yeah.
And to just be like, oh, she's DEI, like, wow. And I think it's the need to go, no, we're going back to no competition. This competition thing is not going well for us. We thought we was going to clear the fields of the blacks and the browns. Here come the Asians knocking us to and fro in the academy. And I think they just were like, you know, we could go back to winning all the tournaments.
Yeah. We could set the table in that way. It doesn't have to be this way.
I mean,
it's outside of
to me.
For sure. And even outside the gender context specifically, like Kid Rock said that Jay was a DEI.
Okay.
Kid, right?
Let's go on.
No, go ahead. It's all you.
I mean, to have Kid Rock's discography and to turn to Jay-Z, like Jay-Z is, I'm going to put it politely, an imperfect vessel. Let's just leave it right there. We all are, and he can be too.
And he absolutely is. However.
Okay. I know, with your resume. I mean, I feel like that's me saying like Bill Belichick just was legacied into his job at USC because I didn't get it. Like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? This man's business acumen is not to be questioned at this point.
And again, not to be questioned. Am I saying that he is flipping Curtis Mayfield out here? No. And he don't want to be Curtis Mayfield. He has
made that clear. He is not
abundantly so. But to question his discography, to question his business acumen, is wild work.
Especially if you're Kid Rock.
I mean, who are you talking to?
Who are you talking to? Because what business ventures have you seen from ideation to success? Like,
What are you
it was,
talking about?
it's wild. It's wild. Yeah.
So I think I think we're gonna see in a number of places, we're gonna be seeing this. I think we're gonna be seeing I've been competing. I think on sports landscape, we're gonna see some versions of it too, and it'll happen in slicker ways. Once upon a time, is you can't have a black quarterback. And in more modern days, seems like mystically of all these people going through the NFL, playing at the highest level, a suspiciously small percentage of them are capable of teaching other people how to do it.
They can't do it. Not a good
You
fit.
know,
Not a good fit.
Okay, we see you shifted it to the sideline. Okay, or not even shifted it. It was always on the sideline. You kept it on the sideline, I should say. But I think we're seeing a lot of it. I think we're seeing. I just put it this way: if Brian Flores
you were reading my mind. Go ahead.
I mean, I love Flores. But Brian Flores had a picture that he proudly took and displayed with Colin Kaepernick, would he have gotten the Giants job this time around? I'm like, there is this dude and his brother just kicking it with 45. Yeah. But that's not divisive though.
That is not divisive. And even the reversal of because you can call this a reversal of course with regard to the commitment to hiring coaches of color. The fact that there was only one in this cycle hired into a head coach position, non-Black, this time with all those good candidates. And the fact that Eric Bieniemy, God bless that man.
Go ahead. Go on.
That man has done
tell the folks why you brought up EB. Go on.
That man has done a full circle. And my heart goes out to him, and I hate that he fell for the okie doke, because I feel like when he was lured away from Kansas City to go be the offensive coordinator and coach in waiting under Ron Rivera, like that was the understanding that
was my understanding.
That whenever Rivera left, Bieniemy was the coach elect, if you will.
Right. Yeah. No, really. I mean, that's the way. To me, that's the way.
And that was the incentive. That was the incentive for him to leave the Chiefs. Because why would he have left the Chiefs? They won everything. They had won a Super Bowl that year. So
yeah. No, he was a kid in the candy store. I mean, come on, give me a break.
So he leaves. He goes to the Commanders. They have an abysmal season. Rivera is fired, and Bieniemy along with him. Right. So what happened and then he's kind of out of professional football for a while. He is hired to be the head coach at his alma mater, UCLA.
I think it's alma mater. Now, can we talk about who gets hired right away? Some of the coaches I see get picked up or interviewed immediately, who I'm like, he just finished ruining a season. Like he just finished.
He just got on that train. Right. And you want to bring him in to be your organization's problem. Okay, great.
But EB can't get a job. I mean, again, I've heard can't get a job. He's not the easiest to get along with, but I don't think that would make him a gang of one amongst their coaches.
It's just a wonder that is disqualifying for some and not for others.
That's all.
So he goes to UCLA. Is there a year or two? Maybe I think just a year.
It might have been one, because I remember going like, "Wait, didn't he just get there?"
Did he just get? So he leaves, and then my man was he a running backs coach?
Maybe.
Was he a running back? He came back into this. Man, yeah, wasn't even a coordinator position.
OC, yeah. It definitely wasn't OC.
He wasn't an OC. Mm-hmm. Maybe Bears. I'm not sure, but I'm glad he's back into the position. He's back where he started.
He truly, and frankly, back there in a considerably worse position. Had prime Kelsey. He had, right? I mean, this is like humming. The height of what they had going on.
They were humming.
Yeah.
But Prime Kelsey, first season, I think, without Tyreek, I think
I know.
that second Super Bowl
right.
they
That's
won was
right.
without Hill. So
Without him.
he had
That's right.
established he could win a
He
Super
could
Bowl
do it.
without Tyreek Hill, right?
Yeah.
So now he's back there with a team that's depleted relative to where it was 3 or 4 years ago.
And because I see how these things go, if the offense doesn't return to something approximating what we saw back in those days, I'll be very curious if that ends up being made his fault.
Right. And we don't even know for sure when we're going to see Mahomes, right?
Well, that's the other thing. So, I mean, this whole thing could be a complete mess. But I'm with you that it shows up in what choices our team's making, what interviews are happening, who seems to be moving up, who seems to not be moving up. And so, again, one more reason, right? Like, I stopped being a Giants fan over that Flores thing. I had been a Giants fan since elementary school.
Giants are trash.
Elementary school.
Yeah, and your long-standing fandom, for you to just walk away from that was huge.
I can't. I was like, I can't do this. Y'all couldn't just do a legit interview, really. You had to have made your decision so fully and firmly that people in other organizations, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if within the room, the owner and the GM were like, look, we know what we're gonna do, but hey, let's follow the rule. But I'm saying, like, there's word on the street. Like, that's how comfortable y'all was treating this man like that. I thought, nah, I can't work with y'all.
Well, I am heartened by the fact that his case, and I think Steve Wilkes, and there's one more.
I saw that. Yeah, go ahead.
Like not gonna be bound by arbitration clauses with regard to their Flores's Dolphins claim is arbitrable, but his claim with regard to the Giants and other teams, if I'm not mistaken, those can be litigated in court.
Okay.
And thus subject to, depositions, requests for production, interrogatories.
That's an important distinction, though, because I mean, even not having liked him the way he was shown out of Miami, but that's sometimes you don't like the way coaches. You know what I mean? That was, to me, that was different. So that even legally, those ended up being separated is very interesting to me.
Yes, because he was an employee. Yeah, he was an employee of the Dolphins, which is what made it arbitrable, right? But he was not an employee of these prospective.
Yeah, that's okay. Got it. Okay. Oh, see, I just be talking. You gotta have people like Professor Michelle around. Know what they talk about. I just be talking. No, but we didn't go fully through. Before we get on, I do want to give you an opportunity, if nothing else, to say whatever it is you want to say about your favorite halftime ever, because I know it's special to you. Go ahead, just come on.
I mean, I appreciate it, brother. It's Prince and everybody else for me. Like, his
I get it.
Halftime show, and if I'm not mistaken, it was Miami in 2006 or 7.
Let me scroll. I was just looking at it.
Yeah,
2007, but it would have been the 2007 season. Yeah.
2007. Singing Purple Rain in a torrent of rain with a do-rag on your head.
I mean,
you talk about a moment for the culture.
Yeah, no, it makes me, so many Prince moments, and that was one of them, just make me laugh. Like, you're not of this world. Like, what are we talking about?
No.
Like, what? Like, how do you end up? Anybody else, if it rains, it ruins everything. It rains on you, and it makes it epic. Like,
it makes it epic, and they're running around trying to figure out what to do. And somebody, the lore is that he was asked, like, well, what can we do? Is there anything we can do to, like, help you get through the performance? Or, and he's like, can you make it rain harder? Like, I want the smoke. Like,
really?
Like, I need more rain. Like, I'm good. And his performance bore that out, that he.
Well, yeah, I mean, he clearly
really embraced the moment.
he crushed it. He crushed it. No, well, I wanted to, because I dragged us down like 17 side roads. I know I'd be doing that, so I just want to make sure you
Oh,
had a
good.
chance to
I
talk
appreciate it.
about that moment. Yeah, for
Not
sure,
not
for
a worry.
sure. But yes, check out. We will have clips. We're working on having different length clips. We've been getting the 1 minute clips out to y'all. Seems like people have been enjoying those, so we're working on it. Check out the channel. We've got Align Family. We've got Align Your Mojo. We've got the Cipher. We're going to be pushing more in terms of the podcast Unstuck AF, our interview show, but there's like 30 episodes of that up. Come check us out at Align Originals. We are trying to help you do you better, looking at this life thing, looking at alignment from every possible angle we can. So join us for the conversation. We appreciate you. Professor Michelle, anywhere you want them to look you up, or just see you here?
See me here for now. There'll be more to come.
All right. I got it. I'm always going to be ready for you. All right, y'all take care. Good. Thanks a lot now. Bye.
Y'all have a good one.